So this is Mandy chapter 30. Yesterday when we left Mandy, she was in the cottage by herself, scared, passed out because she's so sick. So sick, scared, and alone. Chapter 30. Matron Briddy stared at Ellie in some consternation. "What do you mean she's not there?" she asked. "Just that, ma'am. I went up to wake her like you said, but she's not in her bed." "Well, she's probably in the bathroom. Did you look?" "Yes, ma'am. Her bed had the pillow all stuffed down, like it was meant to be her still lying there." There was a pause. Hannah Briddy felt a growing sense of apprehension. She had felt the same the previous evening, but she had not really examined her feelings at the time. Now it seemed she should have been more aware. She should have watched Mandy more closely. "What on earth is that child up to?" She swept past Ellie and climbed the stairs to the attic bedroom. She wanted to see for herself. Mandy was obviously not there, and the bed did have a deliberately made-up look. The pillow laid neatly under the covers, looking very much like a body asleep. "Mandy." Matron called the name once in the darkened room. She knew there would be no answer. There was just the sound of the rain pounding down on the attic roof. Slowly she made her way down the stairs again. She was very concerned. Ellie was waiting at the foot of the stairway. "Dr. Matthews is here," she said. Matron paused a moment and then said, "Come with me, Ellie." She walked into her study. Dr. Matthews was standing by the fire. He was shaking drops of rain from his hair and wiping his forehead with a handkerchief. "My God, it's a dreadful evening out there. I just got soaked coming in from the car." "Brian, a very worrying thing has happened. It's unbelievable, but Mandy is missing. We can't find her. Ellie went to her room to wake her up just now, and she wasn't there." "What?" The doctor was startled. "What do you mean?" "A pillow had been left deliberately between the sheets of the bed. It looks as though she meant us to think that she was still there." "But why would she do that? Surely she didn't go outside." "I have no idea. I can't see why she would on such a terrible day, unless she was delirious or sleepwalking or something." "She seemed fine, Matron, when I put her down to rest." "But good God, if she's out there in this weather, she'll catch her death." The doctor spoke on a rising note of anxiety. "She could come down with pneumonia in 2 seconds flat. That child shouldn't be out of bed at all." Matron turned to Ellie. "Ellie, I want you to look all over the building. Don't say a word to anyone. Maybe she went to the kitchen to see Alice. Try there first. We mustn't panic about this until we're quite sure she's not in the house. Oh, and Ellie, find Sue and send her to me." Ellie nodded and hurried out. "Why, Sue?" The doctor was surprised. "Oh, just a thought. She and Mandy are very close, and something about the way they came home from school yesterday. It was when I first noticed that Mandy was sick." Matron thought back to the moment when she had seen Sue and Mandy entering the big house. Mandy had not only looked sick, but she had seemed upset and distraught as well. But the events that followed had taken Matron's mind away from that fact. She recalled it was then that she had felt the first sense of apprehension. "What if she's not in the house?" Dr. Matthews was asking. "Then I suppose I shall call the police or something." "Oh, dear." Don't worry, Hannah. She can't have gone far. There's probably some very simple explanation for all of this." There was a knock on the door and Sue came in. Matron tried to hang her anxiety as she spoke. "Sue, here's a fine thing. The doctor is here to see Mandy, but we can't seem to find her." Sue looked from the doctor to Matron and then back again. And Sue hesitated. "Have you seen her at all? Did you go anywhere? Did you see her go anywhere? Did she tell you she was going anywhere?" "No, Ellie told me not to disturb Mandy because she was sleeping, so I stayed downstairs when I got home." "Then we have no idea how long she's been gone." Dr. Matthews looked at Matron. "Sue," Matron said, "this is very serious. We think Mandy has run away, or perhaps she's hiding. I don't know, but she must be found. Otherwise, she could become very ill. Do you have any idea where she might be?" "Well..." Then Sue came to a decision. "She may have gone to the little cottage in the woods." Matron was aware that she must have had an incredulous look on her face. "What cottage in the woods?" The one over the wall, ma'am. You mean over the big orchard wall? But why would Mandy go there? Dr. Matthews cut in. Isn't that part of the big estate? A man called Bill Fitzgerald just bought it. I think so. Matron tried to gather her thoughts. But Sue, that's ridiculous. How could she get over the wall? What did she do? Climb it? And even if she asked the question, she knew the answer. Her heart sank as Sue nodded her head in affirmation. Matron sat down in the chair by the desk. I think you better tell us everything you know. Sue recounted the events of the previous day. She told of following Mandy to the cottage, and of how Mandy had been so upset and had begged her not to say a word to anyone about the place. Dr. Matthews was plainly puzzled as to why this was all so important, but Matron Briddy understood. She realized now why Mandy's behavior had been so strange the past few months, why she would need to steal the cups and saucers and knives and forks. She remembered how Alice had mentioned Mandy's request for dusters and a broom, and Jake had spoken of Mandy's one-time interest in a garden project. She had wondered if it had anything to do with the incident concerning the shears. Now she knew that it all fit together. She pictured Mandy, flushed and anxious, saying, "You mustn't stop me from going. You don't understand," when she had forbidden her yesterday to take those long walks. Those long walks no doubt had been to the cottage, a place that she had tried to make her very own. Matron Briddy reflected that in all her years at the orphanage, she had never seen a child express her desire for a home and a family more vividly. Her heart went out to Mandy. When Sue finished her story, there was a moment's pause. Then Matron spoke quietly. "Thank you, Sue. You've been a tremendous help, and I think I understand. Now, I want you to be very grown up and not say a word about this to anyone else, not about the cottage, and not about Mandy or that she's missing, to anyone. Do you think you could do that? You know how upsetting it would be to the rest of the children." Sue nodded. "Will Mandy be all right? Will you be able to find her?" "Yes, I think so, and we'll tell you the minute that we do." Ellie knocked on the door and came in hurriedly. "Matron, she's positively not in the house. I really looked everywhere." "Yes, Ellie, I think we know where she is now, thanks to Sue. You better run along, both of you. It's almost dinner time." When they had gone, Matron looked across at Dr. Matthews. She sighed. "Oh, Brian, what a worry. I'll have to explain all of this later. Right now, I'm very much afraid that I'll have to make a phone call to the police station." And she reached for the phone. "No, wait a minute." The doctor spoke quickly. "You're going about this the wrong way, Hannah. If Mandy is on the Fitzgerald property, then the person to call is Bill Fitzgerald himself. He can reach Mandy far more quickly than the police can. They'll have to get his permission to go to the cottage anyway. It would waste a lot of time. We need to reach that child as fast as we can." Matron hesitated. "Yes, you're right. Well, at least I can try. Do you have the new number?" "Yes, I do." And the doctor took a small diary, or a notebook, from the inner pocket of his coat. "Here we are, Fitzgerald, Cranton House. It's 42731. As she dialed the number, Matron Briddy prayed that Mr. Fitzgerald would be able to help, and that they would find Mandy soon. And that's the end of chapter 30. And we do have a bunny today. For your writing for chapter 30, I want you to write about whether you think Mr. Fitzgerald will help and what will they find. Will Mandy be okay? I hope so. Tomorrow's chapter 31.